August is the unofficial end of summer, but for our family it always feels quite different from the rest of summer. August is the start of activities for our son and makes for a schedule that is more messed up than normal for summer. While this didn't really alter what was played over the last month, it has impacted how much some of the games were played. Sadly, I also didn't get any games completed this month, which was a bit of a bummer, but as I said, August was a combination of busy with an even more off than normal schedule for summer, so things were just a little hectic during the month. A lot of my lists this month will look similar to July's. There are a few differences here and there, but for the most part, a lot of the list will look similar. I suppose that's enough for the introduction, so let's dive into what I played in August 2024. As I said, there were no completions this month. While I did play some story games, they just weren't the bulk of what I played during August, and so it led to not having any games getting completed. Now, the story games for this month are pretty much the same as last month. As I said, I just didn't get time to play much of these style of games. I tend to like to play story games if I have a decent amount of time to sit with them, usually like around an hour or so to be able to sit and play, but I didn't really get a lot of those times in August. So it wasn't a lack of desire, it was more a lack of decent chunks of time to just dedicate to getting through some of the story. Even so, I did get some playing the story games done this month, so let's take a look at what I played. The first game is Stardew Valley. I feel like I've made a decent amount of progress in Stardew Valley Expanded this month. I have played it a few more times in August than recent months, so that's probably helped. But I also feel like I was just at a spot where a lot is happening. Some of these accomplishments are simply from the base game, while others were additions from the mod that I'm playing. In August, I was able to get all the materials needed to complete Grandpa's Shed, which is added by the mod. It's technically not an integral part of the expanded mod, but it is Grandpa's Farm mod that is kind of associated with the Stardew Expanded. This shed gives extra space for producing goods and basically gives you a secondary greenhouse as well. I don't have it filled in yet by any means, but I have started putting my kegs in this shed to start massive wine production. I was also able to complete the community center as well in August, which has caused a kind of chain reaction of things going on in the game. There have been tons of friendship events and recipes sent my way due to this, and also a successful luau soup. I also think that the Junimo Woods from the expanded mod was unlocked due to completing the community center as well, so that's been also kind of a fun minor addition. It adds some Junimo merchants to the game if you can get through the little maze that the Junimo Woods provides. So it's been very interesting to have all these things going on in the game, and it makes for a very productive feeling month of Stardew Valley. Hopefully I will be able to keep playing Stardew Valley a bit more than just once a month, so I can see what else there is to unlock, especially with playing the expanded mod and some of the things that they might add later on. My second story game is Final Fantasy VII. Now sadly, I didn't get nearly as far in this game in August as I had hoped. I was really hoping to at least get halfway through, or somewhere around that, but I don't think that I realized that goal at all. I was able to get out of Midgar and hear the tale of Nibelheim, but that's as far as I've made it in the story so far. So maybe a quarter through the story, I think, is maybe where I am, or it's kind of where I'm feeling, but yeah, not quite halfway. While I am overall enjoying Final Fantasy VII, I would definitely not call this my favorite Final Fantasy so far. With as much hype as there is around Final Fantasy VII, I just don't seem to love it as much as some others do, and I don't really know why. It's a solid game in my opinion, but it is yet to captivate me in the same way some of the earlier games in the series have. Since I'm not super far yet, there's still a chance that the game will grab me as I go, but I'm feeling that it may just not be a favorite of the series for me, and that's okay. I think it's still a solid game. It's just probably not going to be my top favorite, which seems like it is for many people who love the Final Fantasy series. The third story game is Nom Nom Galaxy. We only played this once during August. My son started being very busy in August, and so it made for very few chances to play together during the week, and so we didn't really play much Nom Nom Galaxy due to that. When we did get a chance to, we made sure to play it once and continue to work our way through the campaign. Again, there isn't that much story here, but I'll probably keep sticking it in this category until we beat the campaign mode, and yeah, then I'll probably move it over to the endless category. It is still a fun, silly little game. It can be a bit challenging at times depending on the layout of the various planets and how easy it is to establish a base, or if the base requires you to like connect things that are already there and doesn't allow you to build certain parts of your base. I know one planet had rockets that were already made and you couldn't build anymore, but you had to kind of connect your base to the soup rockets that were already there in order to ship your soup out into the galaxy. So things like that can make it a little bit more challenging, but overall we usually didn't have too much problem getting through the levels even when there was something like that. It maybe took a little bit of work to get through those levels more than some others, but overall, nothing really has been overly challenging in the process. Moving on from story games, I'll be focusing on games that I call endless games. These are games that don't have clear-cut endings. They can be online PvP, arcade, sandbox, creative, simulation, or party games. Some of these are games that I enjoy quite a bit and keep playing off and on regularly, while others are ones that I play for a season and then move on from for quite a while. There are also games that we'll play as a family off and on depending on the month and who picks what. For August, there really aren't any surprises here. It was a pretty standard month for me. There were a couple changes from last month, but not really a lot changed here. The first endless game is Fortnite. As usual, Fortnite is a staple in the endless category. The big news in August was the changing of seasons, as we're now in Chapter 5, Season 4, which is a Marvel-themed season. I was very much ready to be done with the previous season. While I did enjoy the car combat to a degree, it was getting a bit old by the end of the season, and I was looking forward to seeing what a new chapter would bring. I don't often feel that way about a season of Fortnite, but Season 3 was able to kind of make me feel that way by the end of it. So far, I've enjoyed the new season quite a bit. I know the previous Marvel season was one of my favorites in Fortnite, so I have high hopes for this season. I think the new Battle Pass is super solid, and I've enjoyed many of the new weapons and powers, even though Mysterio's medallion is probably the biggest disappointment from this season, as its use is just maybe not how I play the game in the first place, but it also seems like it just has kind of limited use in the game, but I could be wrong. Now, I've heard rumors of more Marvel powers coming in the future, and if that's true, I'll definitely be looking forward to seeing what else gets added during the season. The second endless game is Marvel Snap. August was just an okay month for me in Marvel Snap. In many ways, it is very similar to most of my months with Marvel Snap. I play the ladder, get up to rank 70 or so, and then plateau, struggling to really get any further. And I also am able to get my Conquest variant in the Conquest mode. Beyond these normal activities in Snap, I felt a little disappointed with the month overall. I was only able to get Kate Bishop and Wiccan as new cards this month, which was a bit disappointing. When you only get one card that isn't part of the season pass, it can feel a little rough, especially when I have so many cards that I don't have. And yeah, it just wasn't a great month on that. Another disappointing thing with the month is that after a full month of getting to play it, I also feel like the Alliance mode is just kind of underwhelming. The booster rewards are pretty good, I'll admit, but the credit rewards are puny. Like, I think there's a chance to get like 250 or 300 at max, like if you get all of the rewards for both individual and Alliance, which isn't very much. I feel like there needs to be like a total of 500 that you're able to earn, at least get like an infinite variant being able to be upgraded. On the positive side though, I did get a number of fun variants this month, which is always fun, and I really liked the Prism update for card splits. I know previously the Prism and whatever holographic I think it is didn't really have a lot of distinct difference, and I really like the way the Prism looks, and it makes it very distinct compared to what it was, and that's a really good thing. All this to say though that Marvel Snap has still been enjoyable to play. It just didn't feel like a month where I made very much progress, which can feel a bit discouraging. The third endless game is NGU Idle. I don't know that I've really been up to too much in NGU Idle this month. I've mainly been trying to finish up challenges I have left and simply gaining more power to be able to take out Chocolate World and stronger versions of the Beast in order to be able to get into Evil difficulty. Depending on how long this takes me, I'm not sure how much longer NGU Idle will be around in this list. I am still making progress now, so I'm fairly content with keeping on with it, but that could change if I run out of solid ways to feel like I can increase power in significant ways, if it starts taking me months and months to be able to move into Evil and feel like I'm getting anywhere, and then I could see NGU Idle not being around next year. But we'll see. It's always really hard to kind of figure those things out in advance. I did put out a review for this game though in August, so if you want some more focused thoughts on this game, I'll link it in the video here and in the description if you're interested. The fourth endless game is Warframe. Now here was a game that I wound up playing quite a little bit more than I expected in August. I was able to catch up on all the quests that I had left, including the short and somewhat disappointing Lotus Eaters quest that dropped during the month. Even with this disappointment, I really felt good getting all caught up on the quests. I had a number that kind of stacked up when I was not really playing it very much, and it was nice to knock all of those out and be ready for anything new right when it releases. Most of my playing this month though was with my daughter, while my son was busy with activities. We played this together, and I helped her progress a decent amount over the month. She still has a lot to do in the game, especially to catch up to my son and I, but it was nice to get her a decent amount of progress throughout the month of August. The fifth endless game is Deep Rock Galactic. Just like Nom Nom Galaxy, Deep Rock Galactic was only played once during August. And even though we didn't play it too much, our time with it was pretty fun. I feel like as we're getting used to the gameplay and unlocking some upgrades, the game has become a bit more fun to play. We aren't dying quite as much, and we're kind of understanding how to do things a little bit better, which has made the game more enjoyable. Sadly, I don't really know when the next time we'll play this will be. Maybe I'll have to try it out a little on my own sometimes, but we'll see what happens. The sixth endless game is Jackbox Party Pack 5. This was the Jackbox pack we played this month. If you've watched other videos in this series, you know that our family tends to play one of these a month most of the time. Every once in a while we'll play two, some months we won't play any, but most months we'll at least play one, and this was the one we played. Now, being honest, this isn't my favorite party pack of the series. While I do like You Don't Know Jack and Patently Stupid in this pack, the others are only okay for me. Split the Room doesn't work super well for 4 people. I could see it being good if you had more than just 4 people to play it with. Since we don't when it's just our family, it makes it kind of a little bit lackluster. Madverse City and Zeepeldome are okay, but I feel like both of these games have like some issues that keep them from being great. We still enjoyed ourselves playing, but maybe not as much as when playing other packs in the series. And the last endless game is Vampire Survivors. There was a new update for Vampire Survivors this month, so I made sure to check it out. Felt like it was a bit of a tougher update than some. At least I struggled getting through the new level that it was added. So that means that I haven't quite earned all of the achievements from it yet. I did get past the new stage eventually, which was what I was having difficulty with. So I imagine that once I get to play it again, I'll make some good progress on those achievements and get back up to 100% in the game. And that's really all I played. I didn't really work on any games just for trophies in August. Just like last month with summer and everything going on, there wasn't a lot of time to focus in on just trophy hunting for me. I felt like it was a month that was productive in some games, but also not as productive in others. It was still a good month, but I do kind of wish that I made a bit more story progress during the month than I did. How about you? What have you been playing in August? Let me know in the comments, as it's always fun to see what others are playing and to look for games I may like to add to my own backlog. Hope everyone had a great month and that you've been playing games that you enjoy. That's all for this month, so I'll see you in the next video.